so much. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this very interesting discussion on understanding changing investor perceptions and trends in real estate abroad, from luxury properties to residency programs. In a world of expanding global mobility, a lot of Indians are looking at investing abroad for a multitude of reasons. It could be for increased rental yield, it could be for tax benefits, for the quality of lifestyle, for the education and medical benefits that a golden visa or a residency program brings, and for a multitude of reasons. Did you know that in 2025, 142,000 millionaires have migrated from their countries to various parts of the world, which is much higher than 134,000 last year. And this growth trend is expected to continue, and we're expecting about 165,000 millionaires to migrate to other countries for the reasons I mentioned before. Most of the migration, the benefits are, on top of the list is the UAE, followed by the United States, but a lot of other European countries and new entrants on the block, countries that have suddenly shown interest by the Indians for investment. And here we have with us our esteemed panelists from all over the world who are here to tell you what are the changing trends and how are investors investing in their country and why. So I begin this round of discussion, and I'll get this question answered by all of you all on the panel. And my first question to you is, what are the key drivers for investors, global investors, to invest in your country? Is it the residency program? Is it tax benefits? What are the reasons why most investors prefer to invest in your country?
Start here. So we're dealing with a couple of countries. Our headquarters is in Malta, so let me start to talk about Malta here. Malta has always been quite interesting for real estate investors because the capital appreciation is very good. It's a very small island. You have just a very limited amount of supply and a lot of demand driven by economic growth of a small island. And on top, a benefit for the investors is also a 15% income tax on the rental income, which is a flat rate. So it's not underlying under the progression rates, which would go up to 35%. In that way, it's also very attractive even for larger investors.
Great, thanks. Matt?
So I'm going to approach it from a slightly different perspective because my company, CMB Regional Centers, we're one of the largest active EB5 regional centers, and we work under the EB5 Investor Visa program. So that program allows investors to make a minimum investment of $800,000 US into a project in the United States. And if that project can create 10 new American jobs, they can become eligible for a green card for themselves, their spouse, and any unmarried children under the age of 21. And so our program's not necessarily real estate investment driven. It's a job creation program for the US government. Now, most of the projects themselves take place in the form of new construction, new real estate development. Those are the projects that are generating the jobs necessary for the investors. But the investors are using it as a vehicle to enter the US. Biggest reason why we see people immigrate to the United States is for their children. Education opportunities for their children, or just opportunity to remain in the United States. Right now, we have an evolving immigration situation right now with the current administration and the changes they've made to the H-1B program. And so in particular, we have a lot of investors in India, Indian nationals in the United States that are looking to figure out how they can shore up their status in the United States and remain in the US long term if they don't stay on H-1B and they don't keep that sponsorship from their current company. And the EB5 investment program provides that path for them to be able to stay in the country permanently with a green card.
Thank you.
I'm from Thailand, leading property developers, Sansiri. The key driver for investor who are interested to invest in Thailand, there are three key drivers. Thailand offers great lifestyle, asset, and good return for rental return and also the capital gain.
Thank you. Vasilis?
Hello everyone, from me, Vasilis from Greece. I think the Greek program, the Greek Golden Visa program, offers the most affordable real estate option for European residency. I think this is definitely one of the most important key drivers, the residency by investment program that we're offering. But at the same time, if we, let's say, zoom out from the residency by investment, as a real estate market, we're seeing right now we're in the top 3 most affordable real estate markets in Europe. We're still, imagine, in pre-2008 financial crisis prices, average prices. So the upside potential is quite significant. Of course, the economic growth is very different than 2008. We're seeing a growing economy, a 2.3% GDP, which is one of the highest in Europe. Many conglomerates coming to Greece and invest, like Tesla, Microsoft. So at the moment, and of course the tourism, it's one of the strongest industries in our country, and I mean Greece is renowned for tourism, I believe. So all of these drivers definitely tell for boosting real estate market, and that's why I think.
So one of the earlier panelists was saying that between April to October, you have 5 million tourists coming in. So the kind of rental yields that you can get in investment in property is fairly large.
Yeah, and actually last year we had a record year of tourism was 40 million.
40? Oh,
40 million.
That's
so
amazing.
it's 4 times the population of the country.
Yeah.
Now probably we're, in 2025, we're going to be exceeding that from what we're seeing. So definitely I think a very attractive real estate market, both in short term and long term, and of course the appreciation factor plays a key role here.
Gideon?
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Gideon. We are Diamona and Harnisch. We're a developer in Berlin for the past 16 years, developing residential complexes and selling apartments in the German market and of course overseas. Berlin in Germany has gone through a pretty remarkable uptrend in the last decade or so. And Berlin has, the population itself has rose from about 2.5 million to today 3.5 million, which is dramatic. Obviously, that puts a lot of pressure on the residential market, and and we see this in prices continue to go up steadily, nicely in the last years, and we see it also in the rental market, which that pressure itself pushes the prices on the real estate as well higher nicely. Interestingly enough, for me personally, I'm here because we see a trend from the Indian market, meaning we see more and more Indian come to us directly. It used to be none out there, and in the last, let's say, 2.5 years, I see more and more Indian nationals buying by us, which come directly, whether they live there, they study there, obviously a lot of universities in Berlin, or they're interested in real estate investment per se. As well, the students coming from India has tenfolded in the past 10 years. So this is more of a micro view why we are here, because the demand is there. And of course, Germany and India have their history, and today we're the #1 trade partners of India in the EU and #3 in the world after US and the UK, which puts a base business-wise, which is important beyond the real estate investment opportunities. Berlin is a thriving city, growing city, and I find the real estate options are there, and so in a way I'm here as a gateway to Germany, to Berlin. We don't offer golden visa tracks or any thing of that sort. Germany doesn't do that, but there is a naturalization process, meaning if somebody wants to study, work, get a visa, start a life in Germany. Germany is very welcoming for the Indian nationals. And this process takes 3 years for business visas, and thereafter comes a residency which is unlimited, and thereafter, of course, even naturalization to become a citizen, a passport holder, in a natural way. So real estate is part of that, and we're happy to be here. So
thank you, Gideon. Saif, tell us about Dubai. I think everybody here knows about it, but they'd love to hear from you. What are the benefits? Why UAE?
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I would like to say a few things. There are multiple things why people are investing in Dubai today. No matter whatever happens in the world, wherever wars are going on, anywhere anything is happening, people are coming to Dubai. Dubai is the safest place in the world right now. Over 200 nationalities are living today in Dubai, and which makes Dubai the safest city in the world. The rental income in Dubai is around 8 to 10% in a long-term rent, and the capital appreciation is about 15 to 20% yearly. So, which makes a high number and a great number to people investing in Dubai and making big money. Secondly, Dubai wants to be number one in everything, no matter which sector it is. So whatever the vision of Sheikh Mohammed is, to be the number one in education, real estate, safety, security, Dubai will achieve it. So this is the reason why everyone is trusting the process and believing in the vision of Sheikh Mohammed and investing in Dubai.
Great,
thank you so much.
Thank you. Samir, Latvia is, in the words of a lot of people who've shown interest, a lot of students studying in Latvia, and they find this a growing destination. Can you tell us a little more about
Hey
and
guys.
why Latvia?
Yes, I would definitely say that Latvia has picked up a lot of interest recently, and I'm representing the program which is the real estate investment, and you are getting a golden visa. The first thing I can say is that we all wouldn't be here if we had a very strong passport in India, you know. That's really holding us back. And if we are talking about reasons why we want to go to Latvia or Greece or anywhere else, is because we want the freedom to move around anywhere, or we want to invest our funds that we have earned in India, and we just want the mobility or a better future for our kids. And I think what we want is a straightforward process, yeah? So Latvia is one of the last remaining countries which is having the real estate option available. A lot of the other countries have closed it, or it has become much more complicated. And in Latvia right now, it's just straightforward. You're buying a real estate, it's qualified, your family is approved for it, you know? And this is the kind of honesty and the straightforwardness that we are looking for.
And it's a very stable economy, good business opportunities.
Yes, it's a very stable economy. It's part of Schengen zone. It's with NATO, so it's very safe.
Yeah.
It's much more affordable. So the properties right now are starting at, let's say, 250, and you're actually getting a value for your money. You get a real apartment, you get your residency. So that makes it just something easy for people to understand when they are halfway around the world, because they have to get it, that how the program will work and will it really benefit them or their family. And I think that's the reason.
Thank you so much. My next question is to Matt Hogan. You know, USA has always been a great favorite amongst Indians, from a business, education, and generally to retire there or to get citizenship. My question to you is, how do you see the global investment migration landscape evolving in the next 2 years, especially with the changing geopolitical factors and travel freedom? And what advice would you give our viewers who wish to pursue the EB5, the employment-based permanent residency?
Sure, that's a great question. So, you know, right now, it's really important for people to understand that the EB5 program is renewing legislation, and it always has been. And every few years, we're up for the program to be reauthorized, and generally speaking, it always has been reauthorized. In 2021, from 2021 to March of 2022, we went through a short lapse of the program, and then in 2022, when it was reauthorized through September 30th of 2027. However, what the government did this time around is they created a grandfathering provision that said if you invest and you file your petition prior to September 30th of 2026, your petition will be adjudicated. It will be grandfathered in under the law in place at the time in which it was filed. So what we're seeing right now is the market's really starting to heat up, in particular here in India. And it's because investors are looking at this as, you know, their chance to invest in an EB5 opportunity and to enter the US through this program is likely going to change after September 30th of 2026. Their petition won't be grandfathered in. If there's any risk that the program doesn't get renewed, they may no longer have an opportunity to use this program to immigrate to the US. So that, in combination with what I mentioned earlier, the current administration and the changes that they've made to programs like H-1B, and just the general scrutiny that they've been placing on the various immigration programs in general, have caused people to say, okay, now is the time. Now is the time I need to move forward. I need to select my project carefully. I need to pick the regional setter that I'm going to work with carefully, because time is limited. So if you're considering doing EB5, keep that September 30th, 2026 date in mind and start your process now. Start working with your attorney, your chartered accountant to start to plan how you're going to come up with the capital necessary to make the investment, make sure that it's compliant, tax compliant, compliant with Indian law as well as US law, move those funds to the United States, and prepare for your filing. If you wait too long, you can't complete that, you may miss the opportunity to have the petition grandfathered in. That's not to say that the program won't be extended in 2027, but we just never know what the program will look like. It could change.
You don't want to take a chance.
You don't want to take that chance.
Yeah, great. Till, my next question is to you. What are the changes that the Maltese citizen, what are the changes in the Maltese citizenship program? And can you also tell us about the Italian golden visa, which we've not discussed so far?
Yeah, I think we discussed this last time in Bombay as well, at the event where the decision was just imminent that time.
Yes.
So there was just to inform everybody about that, what really happened here. So in Malta we used to have a citizenship program which was attacked by certain parties and for political reasons. And there has been a court case filed at the European Court of Justice against the citizenship program because they had the opinion that it was against the spirit of the EU to give citizenship for commercial reasons out. The Maltese government had a different opinion on that, also referring to other countries of the EU which make it possible to give citizenship directly through a substantial financial investment in the country. Just to name a few countries here, there's Austria, for example, which is doing that, and also Slovenia, which is doing that. Maybe in Slovenia, just a little hint here, there's a huge scam going out there. Okay. So if you ever hear about, you get a Slovenian passport for 40 lakhs, and that is certainly a scam. So just so that you know, I had clients who were almost doing that. So I know exactly what I'm talking about here. What ultimately came out in this court decision is that the court decided that it is not a problem that citizenship is giving out through a financial investment, because other countries, or generally, that to give citizenship is a national right of each country. So there is, first of all, that part. And secondly, there can be different reasons why you give citizenship out to someone. Because of ancestry, because of you marry someone, because you are an excellent football player and the country wants you to play for the national team, or you're an opera singer and you just shall be honored with the citizenship of Austria, which, for example, happened to Anna Netrebko, etc., etc. So there are many, many reasons of why citizenship can be granted. and commercial or academical contributions can be part of that. So Malta always had this point of view. And the ultimate decision why or what is now not possible anymore is that Malta was commercializing that too much in the eyes of the judges, and they have basically only forbidden Malta to commercialize the citizenship in that way as they have been doing before. So there was a price list and a clear document checklist. There was a set-up process. There was a separate agency of the government which was taking care of these applications, and all that has been thrown out. And Malta has now introduced a new citizenship law which allows still a contribution, but it also opened the door to other potential contributors to the country. For example, through innovative solutions, if new technologies are brought to the island. So it made it much more broad, which I think is an amazing thing, because it really takes out a bit this too commercial approach on that, which I agree with as well, and opens for us as a company the opportunity to do more meaningful work with the funds of our clients, right, and still get citizenship for our clients.
Thank you so much. My next question is to Gideon. What are the key advantages of investing in Germany's residency program for Indian investors, and what are the key considerations for qualifying for the various residency programs in Germany?
Okay, I mean, I like the question, but there is no residency program per se
in Germany?
In Germany, which is correlated directly to purchasing real estate.
Okay.
This can, but I will answer the question in any case. This can make you consider, why isn't Germany having a program like that? And what is Germany offering for their real estate per se? And at the same time, in parallel, what is the way to become a resident or a passport holder in Germany? Yes, owning real estate or buying real estate is a benefit when you do your applications, but it's not a must, and it has not a direct link to your visa. On the other side, at the same time, Germany and India have a new agreement from 2023 making getting jobs, visas, business visas, student visas much more comfortable for Indian nationals. Germany wants Indian talent before investment. The investment is there in any case, in all sectors of business, not only real estate. And of course, like I said, it is a benefit. When people come and they want to study in universities, today we have 30,000 Indian nationals studying only in Berlin, and just under 50,000 residing in Berlin. Like I said before, it's 10x in the last 10 years. And that will be the first step. Or if they want to open a business, they can come even on a tourist visa, apply for a business. Of course, they need to show economic viability, which owning real estate then comes into place, right? At the same time, business plan, etc. And if they do that and are profitable or beneficial for 3 years, they get residency with no limit. Thereafter, they can also apply to get their citizenship. So the process, like I mentioned before, is a natural one. The correlation or connection to real estate is there, but it's not a must. And so investing in real estate in Germany or Berlin specifically brings other reasons or correct goals that investors have from all over the world, and we see that also from Indian nationals, whether it's currencies, whether it's diversification of their portfolio, maybe whether it's private issues, families moving there or children are studying there. But, and of course, Germany has a lot to offer as far as the strongest economy in Europe and one of the leading ones in the world. And that's why There is a flexibility and a desire for outside investment, but there is no per se golden visa or a visa offer that's related directly to a purchase of real estate, which is a bit different than my colleagues here, but it's still available and very interesting, I think, for everyone to understand.
Thank you. Thank you so much. There are a lot of people here who could be the first-time investors. So my question to you, Vasilis, is what advice would you give to the Indian investors making their first overseas real estate or residency-linked investment?
Great question, thank you. So in LUX&EASY, we recognize that I think the number one factor that affects foreign real estate investments is trust. Okay, so people have made investments in their own country, maybe surrounding countries. I mean, real estate is an investment for centuries that people have been making, so it's not nuclear science. Yeah. They're very familiar with the kind of investment they're going to make, of course, targets. So I think trust is the only issue that usually comes up, right? Right. So I think this is the first factor that I think that they'll be looking for. They should be looking, hopefully, for credible partner, credible provider.
Trust, credible partners.
Yes, that's the one I think I would definitely emphasize. Look for track record, right? Look for certifications.
Absolutely. A good track record is so crucial.
Look for referrals, right? Look what have been doing in this market, right?
Right.
Just don't throw money, right? Just because, sometimes, especially I would say, smaller players in many markets come in with very lucrative offers just to try to attract eyes, but usually, and as my friend Till here before said about the Slovenian passport, right? Right. Sometimes it's too good to be true, right? So I would say this is the number one factor. Then, if you go down to more market research, down analysis, you should check what is the timeline for the investment, because it might be an affordable investment for someone to make. But at the end of the day, if it pays out in 2 years, 3 years, maybe it's not as worth a while. So timeline is an important factor. The bureaucracy in each country, right?
How easy is it
to the processing? How fast is the processing? In many countries, in residency by investment or citizen by investment programs, there's a huge backlogs, right? Right. How does this country tackle that problem, that issue? This is also very important. The product, what is the end product you're getting? Right. Am I going to be able to actually exit from this investment? Right. Am I actually getting the appreciating the provider is projecting? Am I going to get the returns? Are they guaranteed or are they not? Who is guaranteeing? How?
So valid points.
Yeah, I believe these are very, very important parameters to always make sure to make your own research. Take your time,
and go to the right consultants who can advise you.
Yes. Ask the right people, make the right questions. Take your time. I know some programs have some, they're announcing expiration dates and stuff like that, but that's why, you can start early and start the right questions to the right people. I think that's the main parameters that you should definitely look into making an investment. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Vasilis. My next question is to Saif. What are the key advantages of investing in your project, and can you tell us a little bit more about the projects that you're representing?
There are many advantages of investing in Manam, but I would like to name a few why someone should invest in Manam. You guys must be aware about the first-time home buyers initiative by Dubai Land Department. So Manam is registered with Dubai Land Department for the first-time home buyers initiative. Through that initiative, we are giving flexible payment plans option for the first-time home buyers. And as per the location of our project, we are very strategically located in Al Furjan area, which is right in between of both wonders of the world, which is Palm Jumeirah and Palm Jebel Ali. Right. So you can say Palm Jumeirah and Palm Jebel Ali are 15 minutes away from our project. There are two major metro stations at a distance of 3 to 5 minutes from the project. Etihad Railway, which is connecting all the 7 emirates of UAE, is coming to Al Furjan, where we have a project, and it is just 5 minutes away again. So imagine living in Dubai and reaching Abu Dhabi in less than 30 minutes by Etihad Railway. Wherever Etihad Railway is coming, you can expect a 25% appreciation in the property by the end of next year, because by the end of next year, Etihad Railway will be accessible for the passengers. Right now, it is operational for goods, but by the end of next year, it will be operational for passengers as well.
Okay.
Okay. Then we are giving flexibility with plans. We have big sizes, and I think that's really good. You don't get such sizes what we are offering in Dubai right now.
That's awesome, and thank you so much for sharing details of the project. My next question to you, Praiya, is the Thailand property market is fast becoming a top choice for foreign investors, especially it's become a great destination for the digital nomads and tech entrepreneurs with affordable prices, strong rental yields, and legal advantages for foreign buyers. Thailand has become a very attractive investment. A lot of people are considering investing in Thailand. A question, can foreigners legally own condominiums in Thailand?
Foreigner can legally buy and own condominium in Thailand for freehold within foreign quota, 49%. And the process of buying is very simple, not complicated at all. We have our team to help and assist the investor from the purchasing process until the transfer ownership process. And we do have after-sale service team to help them rent out or leasing and resell their unit. If they want to make a capital gain, we can help them resell the unit as well.
And what are the key places in Thailand that you would recommend for Indian investors?
There are many places that Indian investor can invest in Thailand. Number one city is Bangkok, because there is a lot of opportunity and high rental demand in Bangkok area. And also we have another two tourist destinations. First one is Phuket, and the other one is Hua Hin, which is a seaside island.
I'm sure there are a lot of people sitting here who have visited Phuket in Thailand over the past few years, and I'm sure this is a great opportunity for you to consider investment there and all the advantages that it brings. Thank you, Praiya. And my next question is to Samir. Latvia, like I said, boasts a very stable economy, a strong legal framework for investors, and it's a business-friendly approach. What, according to you, is driving investor interest in Latvia today? And of course, can you tell us a little more about your company and how does it help potential investors?
Yeah, sure. Our company was formed in 1989, where we had been helping clients for different things, like either for tourism, but since 2010, it has been concentrating on the golden visa of Latvia.
Right.
And it had been a lot of interest for Russian clients in the start, because Latvia had a very close connection with Russia.
Right.
But after the war started, of course, they have been banned. They can't get it. So we have seen a lot of interest from international clients. A lot of clients living in Asia, in Middle East, in Africa, who were looking again for a straightforward way to move to Europe.
Right.
If we will say what is the purpose for them, everything I would say is guided by their family.
Okay.
It would depend. So if they are looking in the long term to retire there one day, they are able to. Or if they're looking for business opportunities, what makes it really stand out is that it's much more affordable. Because after COVID, we have seen the rents of properties, of commercial places has gone up a lot.
Right.
Latvia is still much more affordable compared to those places. So I think a lot of business people feel that it would be still good as a base, because since it's a unified system,
Yeah.
they can just own a company in Latvia and distribute or manufacture, do something like that. So I think everyone is guided by the principle is that where can we invest a sensible amount, still get the same access to Europe or the same facilities that we would get, as a business owner.
Right.
And I think that is what is really driving people to ask, what is Latvia?
Thank you so much, Samir. And before I pass the round to our viewers, I would just like to ask Gideon, why are more investors now viewing real estate not just as a store of wealth, but as a pathway to global mobility and family security?
Nice broad question. You refer mainly to the Indian nationals or just the international community in general purchasing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're all aware, obviously, as we are here, we have a level of awareness to what's going on politically, economically in the world, out of interest or out of, just being aware of what it is. And I think due to this economical situations, whether it's inflationary situations or others, we have concerns for our wealth, we have concerns for our family, and we're looking for ways to protect our wealth. I heard a gentleman before mention something about the Indian rupee. I remember being here just 2.5 years ago or 3 years ago and getting 74 or 76 rupees for my euro. I'm getting over 100. It doesn't mean that all Indian or all rupee-based investment needs to change, but there is a need for diversification, and there is a need for the view, perhaps, of generational wealth, meaning long-term investment, and not necessarily as we're fed by, we want quick results, we see other markets and exploding in percentage, but we don't take into consideration things that can happen later on. So I think there is things that are changing our views, and mentioning inflation, tangible assets like real estate is in a way anti-inflationary. And so when you want to protect your family, when you want to allocate resources outside of your own currency and have diversification, when you have long-term, calm view of your investment, I think you're on the right track in this environment, and therefore protecting your family, which is one of the points you mentioned. And this has to do with any country of the ladies and gentlemen sitting next to me, as well as my own. So the basic, and obviously you're all here. You're taking your time, you're sitting here listening to us. You all have your own views. Some of you have real estate already overseas or in India. Some of you have companies. And we respect your time being here. And so I think this issue is vital. The first step, yes, we want to invest in this, and then finding your niche or your country where it makes the most sense for you. That's out there to explore and to research, as my colleague here next to me said before. So I think that would be in the nutshell my answer to this vast question, which we can have long discussion about.
It is. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And before I pass it on to the audience, one last question for Till. How important is local on-ground support, such as arranging bank finance, property management, or legal assistance in ensuring a successful overseas investment experience?
Fundamental.
Fundamental, I agree.
When you do an investment abroad, you need someone to take care of things, right? Especially if you're not around yourself. So to have a good team on the ground, where you know that everything is taken care of, that the property is managed, that they put enough effort in putting or getting the income in, meaning putting the effort in the rental management, taking care of the taxation.
Yeah.
Ideally, of course, do it somewhere where the taxation, like in Malta, is just one page for the real estate.
Right.
That is a really nice thing, because you just write your annual, you just write one number, actually two numbers, your income and the taxation on that, and your signature, and done it is. In other countries, it might be more complex, and you might then need a tax consultant. So there it comes again.
Absolutely.
In that you need to have a good team on the ground.
Yeah.
And but I think we have a good collection of consultants here who can help in all the different jurisdictions.
Yes.
So good luck.
Thank you. I'd like to now pass the bit to the audience here. Are there any questions that you have for our esteemed panelists?
I can speak louder. I hope everybody can hear me there.
Yeah.
My name is Sandeep Mehta. I live in Dubai and I'm in Delhi these days. And I really appreciate the event organizer for doing a wonderful job. First, let me congratulate. I had visited quite a few stands and attended a conference. I definitely believe for not only for Indians, but for everyone, having multi-jurisdiction residency and investment is going to be a very great thing. And that's why this opportunities which we see in Europe these days is very important. I myself have lived for 30 years in Dubai. And when COVID happened, there was a lot of travel restrictions. And I personally faced those people who had golden visa. We had Emirates flying us out of India when there was total lockdown. So it makes definitely a meaning to have multi-jurisdiction. In fact, I wanted to know a little bit more about Latvia, this question I wanted to do for Samir. What kind of PR of opportunities we are talking about in Latvia, if you can a little bit emphasize on that?
Sure. So one of the easiest way, of course, to get in was through the real estate purchase. A lot has been advertised, which is the 60,000 euro option. You know, we have had a lot of queries on that, but it's a very high risk program, which we don't recommend to the people, or we ourselves don't deal with, because when you are going in for the 50,000 plus 10,000 government donation, the problem that happens is that you are investing into a company, a Latvian company, which has already been paying income tax of 40,000 euros annually. Now, in case in the future years they can't pay it, if the company closes or anything unexpected happens, your residency is linked to it and it gets cancelled. So that's a very risky thing. It can go on fine or it can cancel. So that's why I would say that for all our investors, what has been the most popular has been the real estate purchase. It is still at 250,000 euros, where you are getting right in downtown, in the city center, or by the beach apartment, which starts at just 250,000. It's like 60, 70 square meters. And in that, you are just getting the benefits of the full residency for your full family. So this is how it would be.
There is a minimum stay of every year for, in Portugal and Greece, there is no minimum stay until you want to qualify for citizenship.
Right.
But for a permanent residency, do you have to have minimum stay every year?
Yes. So if, again, mostly what you are getting when you buy the property is something called a temporary residence permit, which is valid for 5 years. After that, you can apply for a permanent residency. Of course, for that, the main thing is that you need to know basic Latvian language, which all of us don't know it. So what we all do is that we just tell them we want to renew our residency again, so we get 5 years again. So this goes on for an unlimited amount of time, as long as you don't sell your property. If you want towards a PR, or you want a passport, it is still possible if you are just taking a basic language course, and then you can get a PR. After another 5 years, so total 10 years, you can apply for the Latvian passport.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Kumar, this question is to Mr. Gideon. Now in Germany, there are a lot of properties, especially castles and even the industries which are up for sale. Now we are interested not in just the residency program for the visa and all that. Ours is an Indo-German company. We are looking for basically having certain businesses there. Now business in the sense, basically, it may be a small SME kind of a business there. Now in that context, what is your opinion? Because the investments will always be there and the properties can be purchased. So I just, because here most of the things are on the real estate part of it, but definitely when we set up a kind of a small center for business, and there will be real estate, these things also, purchasing the apartments and all that. What do you have got to say about it?
Thank you. Do you mean, what do I think, or what's my opinion, if I may rephrase it? What's my opinion about basing your business in Germany? What was your, if I may, I want to help you with my answer.
Yeah.
Could you rephrase?
basing the, I mean, taking up the opportunity of, just because the next opportunities in the international scenario is just not only moving to another country for a residence, but also seeing the opportunities of businesses.
Okay, from the business perspective, not necessarily from, I understand. Okay, so thank you for this. Yes, I think I mentioned before, and I have to emphasize this, that Germany is the number one trade partner of India. This is not only export-import, this has to do with, business allocating back and forth. Germany is as well investing in India a lot. A lot of German companies, not just the big names you all know, but a lot of German companies are investing or basing offices or whatever here in India, and vice versa. So we see a tremendous shift in the business world in Germany where it's concerning India. There's been initiatives, government initiatives in the last years. There's new programs that I see coming up every couple of years, which are there to make things smoother, whether it's job numbers available, or whether it's easy regulations regarding visas, business, incentives to bring people in. It all comes to some fundamentals at the end. It's not an incentive to try to get capital from India or the other way around. There is fundamentals to it, whether it's education in universities, whether it's business, and getting talent from both sides. So I see this all the time, and I see Indian companies or Indian small businesses coming in, thriving, and vice versa. So to your question, absolutely. I mean, I think we're on just the beginning of this. Of course, we have a long history between our countries, but I really see just the beginning. It has to do a lot with IT, a lot to do with technology, a lot to do with AI, a lot to do with everything that's happening today. For me, in the micro world, Berlin is the center of that in Germany, and therefore perhaps I see that even more so.
Yeah.
Do we have time for another question?
Bavaria is one of the provinces which is looking for the investments from Indian businesses and all that. But in the last 3-4 years, many of these companies, I just wanted to know what is your opinion, how are they progressing there?
How are the businesses in the last years are progressing? Yeah, I mean, I honestly, because I'm in the real estate sector, I have an overview, I have an awareness of what's happening, like I mentioned before. I think the potential is huge because of being such a close trade partner with India. Number 3 in the world. I mean, India is a big player in the world, obviously. So Germany and India have close ties, business-wise. And so I see them prospering. But of course, it's not something that I would generalize about Indian businesses as opposed to another nationality of businesses. It's per case, sure, or per business in this case. And yeah, I mean, the future is bright for sure because of the correlations of both countries. And we see that this is, propelling more and more volume-wise and the amount of businesses coming in. There's no question.
Thank you. The last question.
Yeah, hi. So my question is to the lady from Thailand, Praiya, right?
Yes, Praiya.
Okay. So I am Rakesh from Dubai, currently a resident there. So I've been to Thailand a number of times. So lately, yes, there have been a lot of curiosity in regards to Bangkok versus Phuket is part one of the question. How do you compare in the light of ROI and ROE? That's part one. And part two, the investment in the property, does it ever lead to the citizenship of Thailand? So
Does investment in property lead to citizenship in
No, no.
Phuket versus Bangkok, what is the property investment? How do you?
higher return? Phuket or Bangkok?
If for investment purpose, I think Phuket is high, will give you higher return. But for Bangkok, if you would like to living with the convenience and business part, not the leisure part, Bangkok is more potential for the living and making money. But for the leisure and for the investment, you can put your investment in Phuket because there are a lot of tourists coming over there. And most of the tourists, sometimes they rent out the property. And during the certain period, you get like higher yield return.
And the residency, does it ever lead to a citizenship?
In Thailand, we don't offer the citizenship for the foreigner. We offer only long-term visa to the foreigner to have a longer stay in Thailand for 10 years. But you have to purchase some property with the property value over 15 million baht.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience. And you've heard the expert panelists here. If there are any further questions, please feel free to reach out to them in the exhibition center. But before we close, it's very important for you to remember that whilst this is a great opportunity for investment, it's extremely crucial for you to take the relevant advice, both legally and from a tax perspective. You really don't want to be caught breaking any laws. You should be so careful about the tax implications, not only from your country, but from the country that you're planning to invest in. So it's imperative that you take the right advice, consultancy, etc. And like Vasilis said, it's very important to know what the track record is, trust, in the firms that you're looking at, and various aspects that a lot of the experts sitting here would guide you on. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and looking forward to a lot of investments from you all in the global, to the global countries. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you so much, Reshmi, and thank you so much, all our panelists, ladies and gentlemen. A big thank you to each one of you as well.